Hi, everybody. Daryl Shergan, Quest for Vape. Good afternoon. Welcome to my live workshop. Sometimes I do coil builds. Sometimes I talk about new products I got my hands on. Right now, I'm joined by nobody. Sometimes I have some very interesting guests on and some regular folks that pop in here occasionally and frequently. Right now, looks like I'm running solo, so I'm just going to talk a lot, show you guys a bunch of stuff, and that's okay. I'm going to roll through a lot of different topics really quickly today, and I will keep it at an hour. Some folks might jump in here throughout the show, maybe not. But let me just go ahead and share this out there real quick to my Facebook. Make sure folks get a chance to jump in here and see that I'm live. Did somebody just pop in?
How's it going, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, Paul?
Not bad, man.
What's up, brother? Give me 1 second. I'm just sharing this out on Facebook. And by the way, for a lot of people ask me in the comments, I'm going to introduce Paul in just a moment. A lot of people ask me in the comments, how do I know when you're going live? Well, you got to turn on notifications for my channel. You have to be subscribed. Please subscribe. And then turn on notifications. And then anytime I go live, you'll get an email. And that's how you know if I'm going live. It's in your best interest to keep an eye out for that, because I usually do giveaways when I'm live as an incentive for folks who stop what they're doing during their day to watch me do my thing here. Okay, cool. We got some folks in chat right now. Willie Boyles, Joachim, Electronic Clouds. Hey, Big Natty. What's up, Big Natty? How you doing? You working? All right. Thanks for popping in. Mike Dayton, Christopher. Chipster. Oh, hey, Chip. I sent you a link if you want to jump in. If you're shy today, no worries. But, all right, so the topic today, I'm going to be going over this Wismec Theorem. It's not a review. It's just let's look at it. Let's talk about it. It's pretty cool. I have it in my hand. We'll talk about that. That's from Jaybo and Wismec, and Matt from Suck My Mod helped design it. I also have this Jaybo designs from Wismec Inde Duo, which is really cool, that RDA, and some other stuff I'm going to look at. But let me first introduce Paul, the cloud-chasing cyclist. He's over there darkened out. What's up, Paul? Say hello to everybody. Paul.
How's it going? Yeah, like I said, it's Paul, the cloud-chasing cyclist. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Basically do reviews and everything vape-related. Do the odd cycling vlogs too, while vaping.
Cool. Thanks. Paul is in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and if he holds his phone a little bit away from that window, it'll there you go. It'll stop getting the sunlight and darkening you out. Perfect. Look at that beautiful mug. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, what are you vaping on today? You got anything nice and exciting in?
Not in. I'm still on the Pico. But I've got one of the coils out of the Vapeberri Target, one of their ceramic coils in the Milo 3 tank. Just trying that out. It's pretty good flavor at 30 watt. Doesn't need to go any higher than 30. It's 0.8 end coil. So it is, and I've got my G4 on top of my RX. So.
Nice. That's the Smock.
Yeah.
TF RTA G4. I saw you did some videos on that, and you did some rebuilds on that.
Yeah, I done a first look at it, and then I done the full review, full breakdown, and putting the builds and stuff into it. So still working away with it, perfecting it, because I believe me and you're going to have a race hopefully someday at building.
Yeah, real soon we're going to get that build off going. Whenever you want, man. Whenever you feel like you're up to it.
Just giving you the chance to brush up, man, because you're building all these other RTAs and all, you know what I mean? So
I'm ready to go. Anytime you are, Paul, I'm ready to go. Speaking of building RTAs, I first want to apologize to everybody. Last week, I don't know what the fuck I was talking about, I guess. I was calling this the Alliance V2. This is the RDA that I built at the end of the show last week. It's not. And at one point I called it the Mutation X V2, then the Alliance V2. This is the Mutation 234. That's the RDA that I built last week. Really cool RDA. I love it. And I had fun doing the build on the live show, and I wanted to correct myself there.
Mutation's bringing out the V5, Mutation X V5 soon.
I saw pictures of it. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I hated the V4. I couldn't stand that stupid thing. I thought
finally mastered the wicking on the V4 just so it doesn't leak.
Yeah.
Finally. It only took a year, but I finally got
Oh, you finally mastered a technique. You know what my problem was with it? The screws sheared off pretty quickly.
Right.
I like got 4 or 5 builds in on it, and then like 2 of the screws just. Speaking of shearing screws, and I got to talk to you all about this. I've had a couple of people. They sent me a bunch of these, and I've been giving them out to like local builders so I can get some feedback. And the Rafael XRDA, if you've got one or you're getting one, be gentle with those screws. They're not meant. People see this deck and they go, "Oh, I'm going to put some big," and they crank on it, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it's so much user error or I got to ask them about those screws, and maybe they need to use a little tougher quality, because 2 guys had that happen where the screw head just sheared off, and it's a fairly new product in the market, so I don't know if anybody else has had that experience, but that's something I wanted to mention. And then
What do they do when you use screws in it then by the sound of it?
what's that?
Could probably do with better screws then by the sound of it.
Yeah, maybe like better quality steel for the screw,
Yeah.
because it was some pretty soft metal. You can strip them really easily with the screwdriver. So you have to be really careful. Don't try and torque on them. Don't crank down on those screws. If you're using big Clapton, well, also the guys that were doing that were using like 22 gauge wire and big fat Claptons and really trying to crank down like they're used to. So just gentle hands.
To be where you're putting, say, quad Claptons into it, so you don't need to use 22 gauge. The 2632 would be fine if you're already putting a quad into it.
Exactly. It's
only what, 24 millimeter, isn't it?
23, I believe. Yeah, 23.
2632 gauge Clapton wire.
Yeah, and if you treat the deck the way you're supposed to and build quads with that neutral, you don't have to put huge coils in. You put more of them, so less, but more wraps. That's the concept here. Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. And then first, I also wanted to show, it's not a review. This is just me showing off some cool shit I got. There's a new charger in the market. I showed you guys the Opus. That was a couple last week or the week before. That thing, I'm still like experimenting and testing batteries and doing a memory refresh on batteries, but I could only go one at a time. And it's going well so far. I really love that charger. It gives you a lot of information on your batteries. Check this out. This is called ESYS, ESYB, E-SYB. They make a 4-bay and a 6-bay charger. The 4-bay has Bluetooth and a digital readout and a phone app. So who needs eFest anymore with their bullshit app that no longer even works for the iPhone? But I want you to check this out. So I have a battery charging here. Look at all the information they give you. Shit. I really want you guys to be able to see. Look at that. It shows you not only in volts, but also milliamp hours gone into the battery and time elapsed of charging. See all that information? Is that?
Normally, you only get all that on your phone with the Bluetooth app, whereas they're actually giving you that on the heads-up display as well.
Yeah. So that's nice. I just got these literally last night. They sent me a couple of extras. So, yeah, I can't tell you if it's good or not because I just literally started using it. I took out the 6-bay last night and plugged it in. It doesn't have a digital readout. It just flashes. The closer the battery is to being fully charged, it flashes faster, and then it's steady when it's fully charged. That's all the indication you get of anything, but it's a 6-bay charger. So now eFest has some competition, and on this live show today, within the next hour, at some point, I'm going to be giving away one of these exact chargers. So I will have somebody in the audience here. There's 37 people watching live. I'm going to figure out some stupid question that you can answer, and then somebody's going to win this. And then you're going to be part of the review process on this. How about that? Don't blow up your house. But how would you like to have a product in your hands so new, so recent? I was literally sitting last week. I was sitting with Mike Vapes on the way back from Daytona. We're having a drink, and we both got emails the same time from this company in China. Says we're going to send you out a bunch. I think they sent them a truckload of them, but they sent me a few extras too. I'm no Mike Vapes. I may impersonate him sometimes in videos, but I ain't no Mike Vapes. All right, so that's going to be the giveaway for this show. And maybe if I'm feeling generous and you guys are good to me today, maybe I'll give away a Rafael XRDA. And now that I even mentioned it, I'm probably going to do that because I'm not a tease. Anyway, so what I wanted to do was I'm going to be comparing the Theorem, and not that they're in the same class even, but they like, here's what it is. There were this old style of tanks called Genesis tanks, Jenny tanks, and now we have this Theorem from Wismec, designed by Jaybo and Matt from Suck My Mod, who's a reviewer on YouTube. And so we got this guy in the market with that notch coil, which is in there. And it's funky. And it's funky.
Here, but I have to bounce here. I'll give
you
a shout
go.
later
You
on.
gotta go. No worries. No worries.
Cheers. Bye.
Good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
Okay, we lost Ireland, but that's okay. I'll keep going and talking. So why I wanted to bring these out specifically is Geek Vape sent me this Avocado 24, which the original 22 millimeter was very much Genesis style. There's some similarities, some differences, and I want to go over that. And okay, so if they're here and they're popular and people are loving them, and I hear the flavor's great on this one, the flavor's definitely great on this one. It's got some pros, it's got some cons, it's got some personality you got to get used to. I figured I would talk about, is there a trend coming back for Genesis style tanks? If so, why? What? I never used one. Quite frankly, if I was supposed to use one of those back when I started vaping, I wouldn't have, and I would have kept smoking because it looks like an incredible pain in the ass. That was where, all right, let me introduce you to the concept of a Genesis tank. The Genesis tank, as far as I understand it, has, and they were very expensive and they took a lot of patience to build, but when you got them built, they gave you incredible flavor. So to me, the Genesis means it's coils up on top, tank down below, and wicking material that dips down into the tank, as you can see here is going on. And then what happens is with the old style Genesis tanks, you would actually use a stainless steel mesh as your wicking material, and you would cut a strip of that and roll it into a little tube, and then you would wrap your like 28 gauge or 30 gauge or whatever you were wrapping, you would wrap that wire around the wick, lock it into your post, and then you had this, so you had this wicking material that was stainless steel that was going to absorb juice and pull it up. And you had to like pulse that and get out the hot spots. I never used it. I don't know if I would have had the patience to do that. And you would vape that at like 4 watts, you know, like 3.8 to 4.2 volts. And then whenever you wanted to vape on that, you'd have to tilt your tank so the juice could hit the wicks. And some of these tanks are like solid metal. You can't see inside there. So you would have to tilt it and guess. And then I guess when your vape started to feel a little bit like it was losing flavor, you would know that you need to fill it again. And they had these little tiny like holes, fill holes that you used to have to use a syringe. You can imagine it's a bit of a pain in the ass. Well, here we got the Theorem, which is one coil up on top. It's this stainless steel notch coil, and I'm going to show you this a little closer. All right, here, I have a better idea. We know my webcam doesn't work well, so I'm going to ditch that. All right. Get rid of the webcam. And let's come down and take a closer look at this. And this isn't a review. This is just, I got it last week. I'm playing around with it. I want to show you guys. Everybody's weighing in, doing videos on it. And then I'm going to show you the Avocado. And that I do want to do a build on. So this is the notch coil. I can't tell if that's in focus or not, but it's basically a solid cylinder of stainless steel, 316L stainless. And then they actually carve out those cuts, those grooves, to make this into more of a coil, but it's not a cylinder. So that's wicked. The way this thing comes has a very, very long wick, and I found that it was really choked out on the sides here, muting the flavor, and that's way too much cotton. I used that, then I re-wicked it. Then I re-wicked it again. Then I cut the wicks a lot shorter. I've been playing around with this thing for a while. And, you know, every fifth or sixth hit on this, I might get a close to a dry hit or a dry hit. So you got to be careful. Don't treat this like you would treat a normal RDA or a normal tank that you're used to. There's a long distance here for that juice to travel up that wick, and you got to be patient. And it even helps to tilt this sideways, give the juice an, you know, a little slosh up there, and give those wicks some help, a helping hand. I'm also vaping like 80-20 juice, which I think is a mistake. Try and use like 60-40 or even 50-50 juice in this. It'll wick a hell of a lot better. So those are the personality quirks of this. Why are they coming back? Well, you know, people want to see something different. I think that notch coil is very interesting, and I want to get a bunch of those and play around with them in just normal builds and in RTAs. But here we have this Theorem, which brings back some of those qualities of the old style Genesis tank with some new innovation of technology. And it's quirky. It's got personality. Your air flows up on top. And just like my caution to you is 40, maybe 45 watts at the most. This is not a high power cloud chasing tank. This is a flavor tank. And maybe we'll call it an RDTA. Your trick to good flavor here is going to be thin wicks. Thin and fluffy, not thick. If you squeeze or choke those wicks out, you're not going to get good flavor. You're going to get dry hits. All right, that's enough on that. Let's take a look at this Avocado. So the Avocado from Geek Vape, same concept. People had a complaint. I never had the 22 millimeter. They had a complaint about this, that the fill holes, you had to. You have a tank below on the bottom, and you have your coiled build deck up on top. Let me get this open. The big complaint was filling this thing. I don't even know how to open this, so maybe we won't even look at this thing today. It's a first look for me and for you, maybe. But what I'm told is the 24 millimeter design has solved that problem, because you have a wider deck, and now they have added a juice filling hole. So with the 22 millimeter, you used to have to kind of push the cotton to the side and get your dripper down in there, or a little needle nose, something to fill that. All right, I think yeah, Daryl's screwing up live on camera. I don't know how to open this stupid thing. So, all right, we're not going to do that today. Unless you want to sit here and wrestle with this with me. Let me go in the chat. Hey, this is your opportunity. Tell me how stupid I am. Daryl, how dare you, busting out a product you're not even familiar with? Yes. Why not? Because it came in vape mail. Aren't you excited when vape mail arrives? Don't you like to bust stuff out and figure it out? That's what I'm doing here. The full thorough review comes later. I don't know how to open this up. For the life of me, I couldn't tell you. Got to get rubber bands going or something. Unless it's reverse threaded. Christopher Marston says, took it apart and everything. Once the heat, I don't know. Once the heat gets to those rings, it gives off shit flavor. What are you talking about, man? Oh, the iJoy, I don't know. Guys are talking in chat. I missed the first half of that conversation, but what's up, everybody? We got 47 people watching. Awesome. Somebody's saying wash it and use dishwashing detergent. Yeah, again, that's previous conversation. Oh, the O-rings on the Avocado. Whatever. Look, if any of you guys know how to open this stupid thing, I can't figure out for the life of me. Oh, there it is. Okay. Wow, that was tight. Unscrew the pin in the bottom? Stephen M says. Is that really? That's how you... If that's what it takes to open this thing up every time, I ain't doing it. Like, I'm serious. That's... Unscrew the 510, everybody's telling me. That's kind of a deal breaker. That seems like... Really? So every time I want to open this thing up, I have to take it apart from the bottom. Okay, so you need to remove the bottom pin to remove the glass. That's pain in the ass number one. All right. That gets the whole thing up. Well, that explains why I couldn't open it. All right, there you go. Guarantee there's going to be people out there that buy this thing because it looks good, and they're going to be sitting at home. You know how long that's the IQ test for vaping. How long does it take a vapor to figure out how to get your RDA or your tank apart? It's like throwing a blanket over a dog. Watch out, because there's a little pin that holds on the top of the 510 between your posts. I don't have any way to watch out because this thing is not clear. So, all right, I took that out. I guess it further unscrews. See, this is why I miss having Zach on. Zach knows everything. He's a smart motherfucker. Jesus. Okay. Where are we? Let's show you guys a little further up close. Thanks, guys, in chat. I appreciate it. They sent the instructions in Chinese? Oh. Well, I didn't even bother looking at the instructions on this, so I did like usual style, what most vapors do. It's like you're at the prom and you can't wait to get your date undressed. That's how we are with all of our vaping equipment. You know, and I didn't pay attention if there's a little O-ring. What a fucking pain in the ass this is. Okay, I see. There's the deck. I don't think I'm going to be building on this today. This one looks like it's a little complex. All right, sorry, Geek Vape. I didn't spend the appropriate time researching and exploring your product so that I could get on air and look like an expert. I just opened the thing up like I was a 17-year-old kid at the prom. Couldn't wait to get this thing undressed. But as we all as adults will know, sometimes a little more patience. All right. Tell you what, sorry, folks. Here's the lesson learned. This one is not an easy one to understand, and there's parts to it. And it's going to take a little bit more experimenting and playing around with than just that little amount of tomfoolery I just did. Oh, look at this. This is fun. There's like a washer, like a locking nut in there. That's going to be fun. It's not exactly flush. It's got a cut in it. Like right there, you see that? It's like a locking mechanism. Yeah. Rather than destroy this or further embarrass myself, I think I'm just going to leave it right there where it is. And then we'll revisit this another time when I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Sorry about that, guys. Look. These things do take a few days at least to play around with. But I figured I'd do a live look. Some things are easier. Like here, I'll show you. When I see something we could do a live look on that doesn't require a lot of information, we'll go back to another Jaybo product. I'm just getting that 510 back in there so I don't lose it. And then I promise you guys, the next time you have to look at this with me, I will know what I'm talking about. That would have been cool. All right, so like, you know, I had this whole idea of what I was going to talk about today was going to be comparing. All right, that's a more advanced conversation on these Genesis style things. The Theorem I'm familiar with because I've been fucking with that since Thursday last week. The same day I bought that, I also got, let me show you this one. Okay, so here's what we're going to look at today. This is called the Inde Duo. I love the flavor on this. I love the concept of it. I love the vape on it. I'm loving everything about this guy, and including the form factor, how chubby it is. Look at it. It overhangs the Wismec Rouleau by a good couple of millimeters. It's 25 millimeters on the out. No, 30 millimeters on the outside diameter. Right? Let's take a look at this. Comes in this little box. It comes with the sleeve, which I believe this is the sleeve for the indestructible RDA from Jaybo and Wismec. And if you don't like this whole apparatus, this whole housing, You could just take that off. This is not a tank, it's an RDA. This is a sleeve within a sleeve type of thing, which gives you top airflow. That comes in through the top right there, goes down between these two glass sleeves, an inner and an outer sleeve, and then comes out into the chamber right there. You could see that slot. That's where the airflow comes in and hits your coils. But you could take that off completely and replace it with that sleeve and then just vape like that. So you have your choice. How cool is that? I happen to like this thing a lot. Let me show you the deck on this. It's really interesting. Very intriguing. You have down on the bottom, this is broken. This is a broken post. This is a negative on the bottom, positive on the top. It's like a Y formation over here. It's positive, 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 negative, negative. So you can do your coils vertically, horizontally, however you want. Originally, I built this with 8 coils. Right now, it's built with 4. I had another stack of coils on top of that, but the top set of coils wasn't heating up while the bottom ones were glowing very, very red. So I don't think it's designed for a high stack build like that. Is that anyway? And it's a flavor addy. It's not supposed to be for cloud chasing because of a few reasons. The glass is right there close to the coils, and I don't think you want to be super overheating that glass. It's not a good thing. It doesn't seem fragile to me, but then again, don't have like your crazy aggressive build in this. It's not designed for. If you want to go crazy aggressive build, then use this sleeve. And then the other thing about it is this deck here. This is a little bit, this is my only con. My only thing that I don't like about this is this deck. See how that top cap fits on there? It's only held on by those 2 O-rings. There's a way to seat this properly, and if you don't get it right, I'll take this off and show you. It kind of like wobbles. And that's, but then sometimes I get it in there right. So I haven't been able to notice if there's a notch or a groove or some way this has to fit. But if you don't get it right, it kind of like, it's lopsided like that. And at first I thought I might have warped the deck, but I don't think that's the case. I think you just have to find that maybe it's not exactly a perfect circle. Maybe you just have to find that sweet spot on here where it lines up. Maybe it's oval shaped, like an egg shaped, and you got to line it up properly. But I never did figure that out yet. All I know is I play around with it. I try and line the coils up with the air slot. See that air slot in there? Right? Yeah, there. Try and line the coil up with that. And sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. But if you don't get it, it's going to look like that with an O-ring sticking out. And it's not going to seat properly no matter how much you push. It's just going to seesaw back and forth. So that was interesting, something to be aware of. The flavor on this RDA, incredible. I seem to be on a quad coil binge lately, so that's what I put on here. And it vapes like an absolute dream. Again, the only drawback is getting this. What is that spot? I wish there was a way to know. Is there a marking somewhere? Do you have to line something up with something else? And then now look, now it sits perfectly flush. Beautiful, just slipped right in there, like that's how it was designed. So which is cool because it means that there's a knack to it. I also noticed that if you tighten it down, it doesn't like pull away. If you screw it down tightly, it seems like maybe there's a shape it conforms and twists into. So anyway, the main thing, when you have that base on solid flush, put it on your RDA, put it on your mod, and then don't mess with it. Here's how you re-drip. Either straight down the chuff, you can do it, straight down the chuff like that, or I grab these airflow slots and I just pull it straight off and you drip like that. So you take this top cap off, not this sleeve, this whole glass sleeve within a sleeve. I know I'm moving it around, but can you see that sleeve within a sleeve there? Kind of like the Og Vape Boreas tank had that sleeve within a sleeve. Kind of like, it reminds me, The vape on this reminds me of the Aromamizer VRDA, that one with that glass sleeve on the outside and that spiral on the inside that vortexes the air, that cyclones the air to the bottom. It's a very interesting vape, though. Listen to this. It's like you're sucking all the air out of the chamber through the top cap that comes in, right, hits the bottom of the coils. Very good vape. Okay, so we're going to do a giveaway now because we're 27 minutes into this and I have 58 viewers. I'm kind of excited about that. I'm consistently seeing anywhere from 40 to 70 viewers on any show I do these days, and I hope to continue that and keep that up because I like this thing to grow. I've actually had a couple of companies recently ask me if they can sponsor a show, like send me the products to give away for a show. Usually I have to hustle and get this stuff and it's part of something else I'm doing a giveaway, or like maybe I got an extra couple to review, so I'm doing a giveaway there and I grab one of those and I do it on my live show. But now this live show is starting to get some traction and some companies are like, I want to sponsor that show. So one company is this company, Pose Poison, and they're sending me down some of they have a juice flavor called Fug Nuts, which is a really delicious, yummy cereal flavor. I met them up in Connecticut, and I did have a bottle of this, and I'm vaping this right now. I'll tell you why. This is Strike 9. Strike 9, it's like eating a handful of Skittles. It's tart, it's fruity, it's citrusy, and I'm still getting over, like, I don't know, maybe it's allergies or something, but like day to day, my flavor and my ability to taste is kind of like coming and going, sometimes better than others. But this is a very bold, or the way they describe this flavor, this Strike 9 from Pose Poison, is it's what's left at the bottom of a bag of Skittles, all that little powdered sugar and the crunchies from the crust of Skittles. It's spot on Skittles. But to me, it tastes like I grabbed a huge handful. Like if you ever bought a big bag of Skittles and you eat them by the handful like I would, it tastes like that. What's nice is that I met them up in Connecticut. They didn't know me. I didn't know them. I got a bottle of this, and I tried the Fug Nuts. And then they saw my show, and they saw my channel after that, and they kind of like the stuff I do. And so then they contacted me. They want to go, okay, so this will be a giveaway. One specific week, I'll be like, this is a sponsor for the show. But I've never had that before. I've had, all right. So that's that. I'm mentioning that, and I am actually going to vape that again. If you've ever had vape tongue, or you've ever battled with, like, you had a cold or the flu and you couldn't taste much, you either go straight to bold fruit flavors, or menthol, or something like this, which is a little bit of everything except menthol. Just strong fruit and citrus cutting through everything. All right, so first giveaway for today. Who wants to win a Rafael X RDA? I only have stainless steel left. So, and why I'm so keen on this Rafael X RDA these days, two reasons. Number one, it's a very intriguing RDA that nobody's ever done anything with a neutral post before. That UL neutral bridge is very compelling to me. Number two, they sent me a shitload of these, and I've been giving them away. I've been doing a fine job getting them out and giveaways here on my channel and other stuff, my Vaporium, local experienced builders. But it's got that neutral post in the center. So when you build this, you can really do some interesting builds with this RDA. Oh, no, that's not the RDA. The other reason is because I'm going to be in Vegas building this RDA for UL at the VPX show. So I'm going to give one away right now. There's 60 people in chat. What's up, guys? All right. So I'm going to ask a question. It's a very easy question to answer. Unless you're brand new tuning in my channel, never saw anything I did in the past. I just came back from an expo the weekend after last. Where was that? It was called Spring Vape Expo. What state? What city? Daytona. Christopher Marston, you got it. Sorry, Valentina. Christopher Marston got you by an instant. But you know what, though? I'm feeling generous, and you all did give me a bunch of these. Okay, so how about this? I'm going to give 2 away. And for the first 2 people that answered that question, let me just go back and check. Yep, nobody got it before. Christopher Marston, email me, quest4vape@gmail.com. And Valentina, you got one also. Stainless steel, Rafael X RDA. Trying to get these out there. I'm not holding on to them. I'm not sitting on them. I'd rather get them in the hands of folks who can use them and appreciate and experience what that neutral post is. So both of you guys, Christopher Marston and Valentina, email me, and after the show, I'll coordinate with you to get that out to you. All right. And then a little bit later, right before I wrap up, I'm going to give away one of these very nice chargers, the 4-bay with the digital readout. So, but that's not yet. All right. Now I got to figure out what I'm going to do for the next half hour on the show. Drew says Vegas. No, that's coming up. Daytona was where I just came back from. All right. A couple people dropped off. Down to 58 viewers. Hey, there's still some more giveaways, you know. You don't have to leave just yet. I'm not done showing off cool stuff. Who wants to compare the Battle of the Little Biggies? The Battle of the Little Biggies. We've got the Nugget from Artery, the Gold Rush kit, and then we've got this. It's called the Vapeberri from Dovpo. Let's do a little like Battle of the Little Giants. These guys are, I believe, 40 watts. Straight out of the box. I didn't vape on these. I want to show you because these things are getting tiny and cute. If you think this is cute, just wait one more minute. Internal battery, you don't take this out. No, I don't know all the specs. No, I'm not doing a review right now, but I wanted to show you guys something because these things are like tiny but mighty. I don't have my mini Volt. I did a review on it, and then I gave it to a smoker, and she's using it and hasn't smoked a cigarette in the last 3 weeks, which is awesome. But I don't have my mini Volt from Council of Vapor to compare. But look at this. Look at this little fucking cutie. Tinier than that is this little nugget. Look at this nugget. It's a nugget. It was like a big mod had some like over 8 or something, was like, and then squirted out this little nugget, just a little tiny, it's like the size of my thumb. Unbelievable. Did somebody just pop in here? Something weird just happened.
I gotcha.
Who's that?
It's me.
Is that Chip?
Hi, buddy. How are you?
Hey, what's up, buddy? I thought you couldn't make it today.
Nope, just running a little bit late. We'll
right.
talk about it later, put it that way.
Okay, cool. I was just about to compare little big guys, big little mods. Look how cute these things are. But first, why don't we have you introduce yourself? This is, well, go ahead, Chip. Tell people who you are.
Hey, guys. Chipster Vapes up in Buffalo, New York. Just became friends with Daryl. We did a giveaway together a couple months ago, so we talked quite a bit. And Daryl looked a little lonely, so I was out running around and figured I'd hop on and give him a quick shout out and give him some support for a little while.
Ah, thank you. I mean, I can carry a show for a while without anybody there, but I have to bribe people to watch and give stuff away for free. So,
yeah, right.
Thanks for jumping on, Chip.
No problem. Anytime.
Chip contacted me a while back. He was watching my stuff, and he contacted me and said, hey, I want to pay it forward and give away some really cool stuff that I got that I don't use. So we did an advocacy thing together, and it worked out really well. And he's got a heart of gold, and he cares about vaping. His vaping saved his life, and we've become friends since then. Chip, what are you vaping on right now?
Just the usual setup. I've got my Hot Sig DX200 with the 22 millimeter Griffin on top of it, and it's a local juice that we got here. It's called Steam Jump Ghostberry. It's a blueberry raspberry mix. Phenomenal. This is actually what quit smoking with, and it's been almost a year and a half, just like you, and love it. I can't get off of it. And then the Wismec, the DNA 200 with another Griffin, 22 millimeter on top. And in that, thanks to you, I'm killing the old Mazer vapes.
Ah,
Blueberry
nice.
cheesecake. So, yep, outstanding stuff. Really good, really good.
I love that stuff. It's one of my all-day vapes. Cool, man. Well, thanks for joining me over here. So look at what we got. This is not a review. I just
Another first look.
I just literally pulled these out of the box. Well, I tried to do a first look on the Avocado from Geek Vape, and that, yeah, here's my arrogance. I think I can open up any box with any product in there and instantly be able to like use it like an expert. No, that one's going to really require a little bit more finesse, and I think so. We learned a valuable lesson with these new Jenny style tanks coming out. They're not to be treated and manhandled the same way we can get away with on other things that are simple that we understand. I think vaping just took a huge step forward in advancing not only the math, but like the mechanics of how stuff gets vaped and built now. This thing is a game changer, and people really have a hard time understanding, including me. And then some products that are just not simple out of the box to fiddle around with. They're going to take. So I look at guys like DJ LSB Vapes and Vaping Moderation and other guys like that are so detailed, that spend some time and really pull things apart, test them, and then bring the information to you. But it's okay for me to do a live look and say, hey, look, check it out. I got vape mail. Look at what I got. Aren't these fucking things cool?
You actually had to take that 510 pin out to get that RDA apart? That's crazy.
Yeah, you did. And I wasn't expecting that. So I'm sitting there like twisting it, like, when's this thing going to come apart? Yeah, really, it's going to require a little bit more elbow grease to get that thing going. But I'm excited. I hear good things about it. I didn't watch any reviews on it yet. I just figured I would, All right. Anyway, I did a little up close first look at this Inde Duo from Jaybo. I mean, there's no shortage of stuff that I have over here to look at. Why don't we get these little guys open and vaped on? Because these I know aren't very sophisticated. Maybe I'm wrong.
Those have internal batteries. What's the mAh on those? Are they what, like 1500 or 1000 mAh?
One of them has a 1500 mAh. And the Nugget, this is the upgraded version of the Nugget. I think they might have upgraded it for more milliamp hours too. I don't know. I couldn't tell you on the Nugget. There's no instruction, zero. Here's the instruction manual. So that's a fail in my opinion. If somebody just bought this, they don't know what they're doing. They don't have any specs. They don't know what. All right, it shows you where stuff is, but that's it. Like, here, you take this, vape it now.
Well, like you said, this is just the first look too, so.
I'm a little annoyed that this thing didn't come with a user manual, this Nugget. And by the way, it took them 6 weeks to get it out to me. If it wasn't such a cute little product, I would have ignored it completely, because they asked me if I wanted it. I said yes. Then they didn't send it out. Then they were a pain in the ass. They sent it out to everybody else except me. So I was being a little baby. I was like, forget it. Then it shows up. But it's got temperature control. It does have temperature control. Maybe I'll just go scorch a coil right now and test it for temperature control.
See what happens. Why not?
Yeah. And then this one is from Dovpo. Vapeberri. That's the name. It's the Vapeberri from Dovpo. And I'm kind of like, this one I believe has a 1500 milliamp hour battery, and does have a user manual. And it's for it was created in response to the Mini Vault to give you something with a little more milliamp hour, and a tank that's good for like 20 watts, 25 watts. The mod I think goes up to 40 watts, and it's good for nickel and titanium temperature control. Not my favorite metals, but you may like them. Knock yourself out. You can do it on this little guy.
You talked to them down in Florida, didn't you? I think they were one of the ones that you actually showed in the video that you posted a couple days ago, right?
Yeah, I did. I asked them for the Twisted Messes 150 watt but they gave me this instead. They're like, see what you can do with this. All right, so fine. Here's what I do with it. I compare it to another in class, and then we'll see which ones. Maybe I'll do a review video with both of these and see which one stacks up better or how they compare and contrast. But cute as a button. I really want to get one of these filled up and vaping. So this Nugget is really, it's really compelling. It looks like a little miniature version of like a DNA 200. It's just so cute. I almost want to.
Definitely good to put in your pocket. Go, take on the run with you instead of something like your DNA 200. Oh yeah, that thing's really small, huh? Wow.
That's tiny. I mean, I love the mini Volt. It was so cute and tiny, but I don't vape at 25 watts, 20 watts. So I gave it to a smoker. And she's doing really well with it. All right, let's get this guy open. Look how tiny this is. I'm not going to play around with, I'm just going to, all right, without even reading the instruction manual. Work mode, temp, power limit, system software updating. Wow, you can do a firmware update on this too. That's cool. Voltage mode. We just put it in voltage mode. So even if you're lazy or impatient like I am and don't read the user manual, there you go. Power mode. Okay. Software version. So this little guy is firmware updatable. How cool is that? All right, let's take a look at this tank we got here. It appears to be a top filling tank. I don't know, there's a seam right here. Check out the coil real quick. It's got some bottom airflow. Pretty big coil for this little tiny tank. There's juice flow control with this open and closed. And here's the coil. Looks like an Atlantis. I don't know. I'll have to play, I'll have to play around with what coils replace this. That actually looks like a Kanger coil. Like a chubbier version of a Kanger. All right. Again, not a review. First look. See what we can get out of this little guy vaping it. Yeah, because I also hear this a lot when I go to different vape shops. Guys come in who work in the trades and they busted their mod because they're always like active and working around like machinery and stuff. So here's a little guy you can put in your pocket, not have to worry about it because it's so tiny. How are you going to break it? All right, here we go. So this is top fill. I prime that coil. I can already see it's translucent down through there. So it's priming nicely. Still there, Chip?
I'm with you.
Closed off the juice flow control. Let's go ahead and fill it. Nice wide juice fill slots. Not a very big capacity tank. That's fine. It's tiny. It's going on a tiny mod. Mike Vapes the other night had that mod, the Nugget mod with the Theorem on top of it because the Theorem is not a high wattage tank. And it looked like a cool little setup. I liked it.
I really like that Nugget setup. That thing is sharp.
Yeah, it's cute as a button. There we go. Gonna leave it for a moment. See if I can decipher anything out of this box. Nah, they don't tell you anything about it. Probably could get the information online, but I couldn't tell you the milliamp hours of the battery. And it looks like it maxes out at 40 watts. No, not true. 50 watts. I'm not going to start there. I'm going to break it in a little bit lower. That's pretty cool. 50 watts and a little tiny, like how big was the iStick 50 when it came out? And that was like revolutionary small. I'm going to start this out at 20 watts. See how it goes. It's asking me new coil or same coil, even though I'm in power mode. It wants to know. That's a temperature control thing. So the chip is always going to ask whenever you put a new atomizer on there. That's so it can lock in the resistance of what you had before or a new coil if you're doing temperature control. All right, so far so good. It's a 0.54 ohm resistance coil. Canthal, I'm assuming. Pretty good vape so far. You could probably get a good 3/4 of a day at 20 watts on this. So if vaping, like, maybe we'll do more of a mouth to lung. It's a decent vape for a smoker. Not my style, but we'll go up to 30 watts. Just look how cute.
Well, that's what I seem to run into. I'm sure you hear it all the time, you know, trying to get smokers to quit. They don't want a huge mod and tank. I mean, they might even, they'll work their way up to that, but just a simple mouth to lung that they can actually hide away in their purse or their pocket, like you said, especially in the skilled trades, which is what I'm in. Same thing, you know, you got to be able to, you're worried about dropping it, but you're worried about where you're going to put it.
Yeah, exactly. Like by the time I went to vaping, I was so disgusted over smoking for so many years. I didn't see vaping as something that would be fun or enjoyable. I saw it as like weaning myself off. So it wasn't meant to be like rewarding myself. I looked at all those flavors that sounded like they would taste great. And I thought, no, I can't enjoy this. I just have to quit smoking. I'm not doing this to try and enjoy flavors. Then it turned into something I enjoy. But in the beginning, it was almost like that punishment of self.
Well,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, we talked about it before too. It's changing a little bit here now, but even so, when you walk into any of the vape shops around here, most of them you can't sample juice, so you're just sort of guessing it, you know, what you might like, or going by who's selling you the juice to say, you know, try this first and work from there.
Wow, that's crazy. If you can't try juice, what can you do? You know? That's I guess a local Buffalo thing, or?
You know, to be honest with you, I'm not sure. Just the one shop that I go to, when I quit smoking, you know, it's the one I frequent most. And still, the biggest reason that they don't do it, and I can completely understand, is like you were saying, like if, for instance, like having 10 or 15 iStick 50 watts at the time sitting out with, let's go with the original Aspire Atlantis tanks back at the time when we quit, okay? And to have all of those out and to have 1 or 2 employees working in the shop, they had them disappear. They ended up throwing feet and walking out. So
I understand.
You end up running into that problem, and it sucked because then they had to take it away because they did have samplers, but when you start adding the money up over just 1 week from anywhere from $100 to $300 just for testers, it just went away. Now you can go in, you know, if you've got your own RDA set up, then you can go in and you can, you know, try different juices, but they don't have anything available just for you to walk in with a drip tip and try, you know, try one of their house blends or something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, that happens down here also, where like the testers go, they get stolen, and you know, some shops don't even have testers anymore. Like if you want to drip, fine, but okay, so it's not by ordinance necessarily, it's just by a couple of cretins screwed it up for everybody. Now this tank that comes with the little Vapeberri, it's tiny. It's tiny. I'm going to open this up and get this vaping also. But this is, by the way, I'm at 40 watts on this. Great vape. Got some great flavor out of that too. I mean, listen, it's not like dripping, and it's not like some of the other tanks I use, but this isn't supposed to fill that purpose. This is not supposed to satisfy a guy that vapes the way I vape. The clouds that thing produces.
What e-liquid do you have in there, Daryl?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. I'm using Pose Poison Strike 9, which is like you just grabbed a handful of Skittles, all the different flavors of Skittles, and shoved that in your mouth and ate it. Huh. Look at this little coil. This looks like a Joytech coil. Very, very reminiscent
Oh, yeah.
of a Joytech. I don't know if it is or not. I don't think I have anything with a Joytech coil like that around right now. I give that stuff away. Like if I've had Ego ones and they're in the hands of smokers. I suppose I should hang on to that stuff for months and months. Oh, this is a nickel.
I do the same thing. I end up, I use it. If I run into somebody that's trying to quit smoking, that's the first thing I do,
Yep. Okay, so this came with a nickel coil that was 0.1 ohms. I'm not going to use that. Sorry, Ni 0.2. I can't even barely see that small. But anyway, we'll put that off to the side because I'm more interested in checking out this Canthol one, which so at least they did say Ni 0.2 on this coil. This one just says 0.5 ohms. That's it. That's all it says is 0.5 ohms. See right there. It doesn't say what metal, so I'm going to assume Canthol. But they're like almost identical. You would not be able to really tell these apart. The O-rings are the same color. Not happy about that. Have they not been listening? Well, I guess they ain't been listening to me. I'm not crazy about any starter kit that comes, especially geared towards a beginner with nickel. Then, first of all, I don't care how good your device is with temperature control. A beginner doesn't understand how to do that just yet. Not trying to insult their intelligence. They're new to vaping. How much it took some of us months to figure out this temperature control. So you're gonna stick that burden on a beginner right out of the gates. They're trying to quit smoking, and now they got to go learn temperature control. Also, just give people a break. That's my point.
Yeah, you beat me to it. I was going to say the same thing. There's absolutely no reason for them to actually have nickel in there at all. It should just be 2 Canthol coils. That way, God forbid they make a mistake, it won't be a mistake, because I've actually done that, and a dry hit on nickel, and I think is god awful.
Yeah. That bugs me. All right, I'm gonna stop ranting about nickel. This tank, this Vapeberri is not a top fill tank. So, but it's got nice size fill holes for bottom fill. So the Nuggets got it beat right there, just in that department. Oh, by the way, I'm filling this tank with Hyper Plume Turbo, which is a strawberry ice cream. I just did a review on this flavor. Awesome stuff. I almost don't even want to waste it on a new tank that I don't even really feel like I'm going to be using much, but that's okay. This will be in the hands of a smoker within the next week, and they'll get to enjoy some nice turbo strawberry ice cream from Hyper Plume. That's a nice flavor to start off a smoker with. They're going to be like, I feel guilty because this tastes good and I like it. I'm not supposed to like, by the time you realize you're addicted to cigarettes and you want to quit, you don't even like them anymore. And you've already figured out the flavor tastes nasty. So then you get to vaping and you're like, I feel really guilty because I like this. And I'm not supposed to like it. All right. Here we go. Dovpo jumps into the little tiny mod, tiny tank setup game. Jesus Christ. This is like when there was an iStick 20 watt and then there was like a Nautilus Mini and it was still, that setup combined was bigger than this. Definitely was bigger than this. Oh, maybe about the same size, but 40 watts, 50 watts. Oh, you know what's interesting? This was in temp mode, and then it went automatically into power mode, into wattage mode. But the reverse doesn't happen. Just because you put in a low resistance nickel coil doesn't mean that this is going to go automatically into temp control. So that's cool. We got the battle of the little tiny but mighties right now going on. This is a 40 watt device. I think Dovpo has another one that's 50 watts, but I don't have that.
Well, like you already said, though, 40 watts for a new vapor, that's plenty.
Makes enough noise. I'm at 21 watts right now. The flavor's just fine. Brand new coil, the flavor's good. It didn't come with very much charge on the battery, so not like I'm going to get a lot out of this right now. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys a cool first look. People ask me all the time, what's a good starter set for a smoker? Right now, my first pick would be the Joytech Ego IO, the all-in-one. That's the one with the colors change, and it's like 25 to 30 bucks in any retail store. Online, they're like $22. The thing is great. It doesn't leak. It's not, it's top fill. It doesn't even have airflow from the bottom, so there's no leaking possible from the bottom unless somebody leaves it on its side or upside down. It's almost fail-proof, that Ego all-in-one, but now we got another couple of good options for people who don't want to pick up something big. Even that top box mini, or the sub box mini from Kanger, it's kind of big when you look at everything with the tank on there. It's intimidating for a smoker. Pretty good flavor. If I had to pick which tank of these I prefer the flavor from so far, it would have to be the Nugget. I think the Nugget 49er tank has this guy beat on flavor and vapor production, but not by much. I mean, they're close. These guys are rivals, competitive in class, and they both do a good job. There you go. All right. That's enough on that. 58 viewers. Thank you for hanging in there watching this thing. It's 1 o'clock. Let's do another giveaway and then say goodbye real quick. Let me say hello to everybody in chat still. Oop. Thanks a lot, folks. I appreciate you out there in chat. You guys ready for another giveaway? I think they are. All right. Well, oh, interesting. I love dropping in there and seeing what these guys are talking about. Gizzard Stu, what's up, brother? Raul's in there. Steve M. Dustin Stewart. Okay, who wants to win a charger, a 4-bay charger with Bluetooth capability and be a part of the review process? Meaning, give me your feedback, how you like it when you get it. Play with it. It's brand new to the market. Nobody's, literally, like, I'm among the first few people who have it in their hands. So let's think of a question. Hey, Chip.
Yes, sir.
Let's think of a good question. Justin S. says he needs a charger because his just died. Well, you know, it's random, so if you win, that'll be very nice. But if you don't win, then you're going to have to buy a charger for yourself there. What do you think would be a good question to ask people in chat to win this? Can you think of anything offhand?
I might have maybe something. I mean, me included. You know, most of your loyal watchers might know this, and we'll see where it goes. You had Dean on your show last week, right?
Yep.
And so Hyper Vape. What's up, Dean? Does anybody remember where he was on vacation last week?
Oh, I like that question. I'm not going to go with it, though, only because some folks might not have been on watching. I want to try and keep it to, I don't know, a little more broad topics, or let's think of something else. let's think of something else. Some folks did have the answer correct though, but let's go. Yes, Dean was in Orlando, Florida, but I want to pick something else. Okay. This everybody should know. Okay. And in honor of you, because I have Chip on. Chip, the state of California came up with a big campaign to give negative media attention to vaping, and it was a negative campaign, and it smears vaping, and it almost implies, insinuates, lies, and states that basically vaping doesn't work, it's no good, also it's bad for children, and all of this other stuff, and it's nothing short of complete outright lies. Now, the vaping advocacy groups of California, here he goes. That was still blowing smoke. You guys are close. I didn't ask the question yet. Andrew Simmons answers the question before I could even ask it. I was going to ask, what is the California advocacy group for? All right. we'll go with that, Andrew Simmons. There you go. My subscribers, they answer questions before they're even asked.
See?
They're like, I'll go with that, Andrew Simmons. So email me, you want a charger. I'm sorry if you guys don't think that was fair. I'm trying to keep it fun and light also. And, you know, you do a live show and see if you can do this for an hour. And it's not easy. So, Andrew Simmons, please email me, quest4vape@gmail.com. That's QUEST. Here it is. The number 4, VAPE@gmail.com. And I'll get that charger out for you. And by the way, when you win contests like this, giveaways, you have to pay $8 PayPal, because that's what it costs me to ship. Actually, it cost me like $6.80. So I'm charging you an extra $1.20 because sometimes people fuck up and make comments on there, or they don't do it friends and family, and then PayPal charges me like 50 cents. Sometimes I have to buy toner cartridges, and sometimes I have to buy tape and bubble wrap. So I got tired of reaching into my pocket every couple of weeks. Like, well, I got to go to Walmart and drop another 30, 40 bucks on supplies. So that's what I do. I give away a lot of stuff. If you didn't win right now, keep tuned to my channel because I give away a lot of stuff all the time. And this won't be the last giveaway I ever do. This company sent me ESYB, eSIB. They sent me 3 4-bay and 3 6-bay chargers. So I'm keeping a 4-bay and a 6-bay for myself because I'm reviewing them. But I am going to be giving away one more of these 4-bay cool digital readout in the review video, a 6-bay in the review video, and then at some point, maybe in my live show, maybe next week, or maybe on the True Vapor show, you never know, I will be giving away the other 6-bay. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Chip, anything else for the good of the order? Anything else you want to add, promote, mention, shout outs?
No, all good here. Thanks for having me on the show. Always a pleasure. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate having you on, man. It's good seeing you, buddy. And then just to recap and review, yeah, I tried to go and do, you know, I always have these things in mind, what I'm going to do. Easier said than done. I wanted to show the Theorem and the Avocado. Those are going to need some more detailed fiddling with because they're just not simple devices that you can crack out of the box and know everything about. I'll tell you one other thing I don't like about this Theorem. The glass already chipped, so be very careful if you get this when you're removing that sleeve, that you don't do it at an angle. You'll chip the glass. But anyway, I wanted to compare a couple of these Genesis style new things. I didn't have the skill set and the knowledge level, so those are going to require a little more work. Busting these little guys out, showing off some starter kits or some low power devices, but that give you a quality vape. I'm going to have to go with the Nugget. Really fantastic vape compared to other things, its size and price on the market. But followed up closely by this little guy. And these both have more milliamp capacity than the Council of Vapor, sorry. So I think that Council of Vapor is going to have to step up their game and maybe come out with another version of the Mini Volt, because the Mini Volt is a little bit, it's cute, but it's underpowered, and these guys have just trumped them. All right, that's about it for today. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Let me say goodbye to everybody over there in chat. I appreciate you guys stopping what you're doing and jumping on my show. And always stay tuned on Tuesdays at noon. Sometimes I have more guests than others, but thank you very much for jumping in here, Chip, and rescuing me while I was floundering.
No problem.
All right, guys. Have a great day.